Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be doing a review on the Yiwi Personal Compact Planner that I found on Aliexpress. I'm going to be talking about the layouts, the pocket configurations. I'll be comparing it to the other planners that I own, and then I'll be sharing my opinion on whether this planner is worth it or not. So this planner is called the Yiwi A6 Slim planner on Aliexpress. It is actually a personal compact planner. As you can see, the rings are very small and it is personal size. I've noticed that AliExpress tends to list their personal planners as A6 on the website. I'm not sure why. So if you are shopping for planners on AliExpress, I would recommend double checking the size dimensions on their description. Or if you have a lot of planners and you already know what they look like, you can kind of eyeball the size. So a personal planner would be slimmer and more rectangular, and then an A6 binder is usually more boxy. I'll put a picture in here so you can compare. Here it is next to a Gillio Slim Compagna. And here are the insert sizes. So this confirms that this is indeed a personal compact planner. So opening this up, you do get a big back pocket with some black lining on the inside. You get a secretarial pocket here, a full height pocket, and then in the back you get this little card pocket, 2 full height pockets, and then 3 horizontal pockets here. And you get a pen loop. So straight away, this planner does have a unique layout as far as I'm aware. It's not trying to copy a different brand. It's not trying to pass itself off as something else. So I do appreciate that about this planner. And I like having the secretarial pocket here because you can stash bits of paper. If you have a receipt or a coupon, you can just put it in here real quick. I'm doing One Book July right now, so I'm not actually using this planner, but I did kind of play with it and carry it around with me for about a week, so I can give you an honest opinion about this planner. And I should mention also that this does not have a stiffener, so you can bend it pretty well. And I like that. I don't like to have stiffeners on my planners usually, so that's a plus for me. So let's go ahead and compare it with my other personal compact planners. I have 2 here. This is the Filofax Saffiano and the Gillio Slim Compagna. Comparing the width of the planner, the Yiwi is about the same width as the Gillio. It is taller. And then with the Filofax is just a smidge thinner than the Yiwi. And the Yiwi again is taller. The Yiwi planner is the tallest one out of the 3 of them. So let me just stack these up. So it does have that bit of extra height. Now let's compare the ring sizes. I'm going to go ahead and take out my inserts. I forgot to mention that when I bought this planner, it came with this set of dividers and a set of inserts. I asked for grid inserts, but you can ask for whichever one you want. And look how cute these dividers are. I got these cute bird ones. I'm not sure if you're going to get the exact same dividers every time, but I really like the ones that they sent me. They're so cute. This is the last one. So Yiwi lists their rings as 10 millimeters, while Filofax and Gillio lists theirs as 14 millimeters. They look about the same to me. I think Yiwi measures it from the inside, and then Filofax and Gillio measures it from the outside. That might be a possibility, but if you line these 3 up, they have about the same size rings. Ring size wise, I don't think you get that much of a difference. And here's what it looks like without the inserts. I don't have the official dimensions on me right now, but I'll list it down below if you're curious. Let's just go ahead and compare the dimensions with the Filofax. Laid out open, the Filofax is narrower than Yiwi, and the Gillio is also narrower than Yiwi. So Yiwi overall is taller and wider than both Filofax Saffiano and the Gillio Slim Compagna. So that's what you can expect when you buy this planner. Now, here is where I get honest. I try to be positive on my channel and not complain too much, but I also want to give you my honest opinions with my planners. Functionally, I love this planner. I love the pocket layout, and I can definitely see myself using this. However, I do not like the die quality on this planner. If you take a look at the scales, it's really hard to capture on camera. This planner photographs way better than how it looks in real life. Trust me, I've tried so many times to capture the issues I have with this planner. So if you take a look, the die quality isn't very consistent, and you can look closely at the scales here. The die on the scales, it looks like it was painted on. I know this leather is dyed and treated, but it looks very obvious, like someone just took a paintbrush and just made these little strokes. And I expected this planner to be a really nice blush pink. The pink part of the planner looks almost neon to me. You can see it much more clearly on the clasp. This is very, very bright. And you can get a better idea of the die quality of this planner when you put it next to other pink planners. Here is the Moterm Pink Croc, and here is the Gillio Blush Matte Croco. So next to the Moterm and the Gillio, it's a lot more obvious how fake looking this die is. These two, I would say, are both highly treated, but the die job on the Moterm is a lot better than the Yiwi planner. And obviously you have the Gillio here. This is very matte, and there aren't a lot of contrasting dyes on this one. Next to these two planners, the Yiwi just looks really fake to me. It does feel like leather. It feels very similar to the Moterm Pink Croc, so I don't doubt that it's real leather. I'm just not very impressed with the die quality of this planner. And as far as comparing the texture, it's about the same texture as the Moterm, maybe a bit more ridged. I don't know if you can see, but the scales on the Moterm is flatter than the Yiwi. And I think that's just personal preference. Some people like to feel these little bumps and others don't. I don't mind either way. It's really just the die quality that I take issue with. I paid $74 for this Yiwi planner. For how much I paid, I honestly don't think this planner is worth it. I expect better quality. I own a whole bunch of Moterm planners, right? And I paid less for the Moterm and I got better quality over it. So this is my alligator brown Moterm. And the quality of this Moterm is a lot better than the Yiwi, and a Moterm personal planner isn't more than, what, $50? It's a lot cheaper, plus you get more because the rings are bigger, and you get the back pocket and all this other good stuff. You also get a flyleaf, which I didn't get with Yiwi. So overall, I don't think Yiwi is a very good purchase, at least this particular planner. I know Yiwi offers all sorts of different personal planners on their store, which I'll link down below if you want to take a look. They offer different planners in different colors and different leathers. I'm talking specifically about this blush pink croco planner here. I don't think this one personally is worth it. Honestly, just buy the Filofax Saffiano if you want a compact planner. If you really want the back pocket, I would suggest just getting the Moterm planner and then buying the 20mm rings on Amazon. It's larger than the personal compact rings, but 20mm is still pretty compact to me, in my opinion. It's not as bulky as the 25mm or the 30mm. You can still write comfortably in this ring size without your hand bumping into the rings too much, which is why I like the personal compact planners, by the way. It's because the rings are so small that you can treat it like a bound notebook because the rings don't get in the way too much. But yeah, that is my recommendation for you if you're looking for a planner with smaller rings. I don't think this particular Yiwi planner is worth it. I expect better die quality for what I paid for. And that's my honest opinion about this. I'm going to see if I can return this. I'm not sure if I'm still within the refund window because this order was already delayed. I might be out of luck. I don't completely hate this planner. I do like the pocket layout. I just wish the die quality is a lot better than what it is. As far as Aliexpress planners go, I think there's still a lot of good stuff out there. I have an Ipben personal planner coming in, which I'm really excited about. So once that arrives, I'll also be making a review on that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And if you're interested in more Aliexpress finds, do consider subscribing because I'll be reviewing more items from Aliexpress. So this is Spellbound Notes, and I will see you next time. Bye!